Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Ryan Prosick. A Hazleton man has been arrested after police found over 100 packages of suspected cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana in his vehicle. According to police, Nelson Polanco had been previously suspected of illegal drug activity when officers coordinated a traffic stop on his vehicle. Police say Polanco provided false identification and openly admitted to being in possession of suspected marijuana, at which point he was placed under arrest. Upon obtaining a search warrant, police found that the vehicle contained 64 package baggies of suspected crack cocaine, 50 glassine packets of suspected fentanyl, and 14 resealable packages of suspected marijuana. Police also found over $4,000 in United States currency and 3 cell phones. Polanco has been charged with 3 felony counts of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, among other charges. Polanco has been transported to the Luzerne County Correctional Facility, unable to post his $200,000 bail. A woman from Shamokin is facing homicide charges after police say she shook her 6-month-old child, which caused the child's death. According to Shamokin police, officers responded to the Shamokin hospital after they were told the child of Crystal Semerad was airlifted to Geisinger Medical Center in Danville and was in critical condition. After issuing a search warrant on Semerad's residence, located on Race Street in Shamokin, officers found 6 people inside the home along with controlled substances and drug paraphernalia. Police spoke with a person inside the home who told them Semerad and the infant had been sleeping in his bed when he woke up to Semerad saying the baby was not breathing. According to the affidavit, Semerad did not call 911 and drove to the hospital. The hospital performed tests on the child, but there was no brain activity. It was later confirmed by further testing that it was shaken baby syndrome. Semerad has been charged with criminal homicide, endangering the welfare of children, and aggravated assault. She was taken to the Northumberland County Jail on $200,000 cash bail. The community flocked to the Laurel Mall today for a senior expo hosted by State Representatives Dane Watrow and Mike Cabell and Senator Dave Argel. The event featured over 70 vendors offering services such as glucose testing and flu vaccines to seniors. We spoke with State Representative Dane Watrow, who said that though the event was not original to him, he plans to absolutely continue hosting senior expos in the future.
Our seniors need the care, the compassion, and delivered information to them. This has been going on for many, many years. For the former representative had this, and I just thought we got to keep this going. Our senior citizens are the backbone of this great country.
According to Watrow, events like the Senior Expo are important because they inform seniors about all the services that are available to them, a process Watrow says is very rewarding.
It's rewarding because when you tell a senior citizen what's they're eligible for, and they didn't know, it's rewarding for us, the staff, myself, to be able to deliver a service that is rightfully theirs.
Physical therapist Ting O agreed with Watrow, saying that he was at the event with Physical Hazleton administrating balance tests for seniors.
So we're here to test balance on seniors because a lot of seniors have balance troubles. Around about 33% of seniors actually fall every year. So what we're trying to do is raise awareness in the community so that if we find seniors that are at risk of falling, we can help them overcome that risk and hopefully prevent some falling.
O said balance is an especially important subject for seniors.
Falls create a lot of problems, so it's actually quite catastrophic. There's, I don't know the exact statistics, but there's like every 11 seconds a senior will fall. It's one of the highest injury rates that's out there. I think around about 30% of seniors will suffer an injury, such as a broken hip, or they may get concussions. So if we can really detect people, we can really help seniors from going through that trauma and help them live a better life.
We also spoke with paramedic David Onder at the event, who said the Lehigh Valley Health Network EMS was eager to attend the event to help seniors in the community.
Because this is the community where we serve. This is in our backyard for a lot of us. We're born and raised here. So we're actually, treating and transporting people that, may have been our neighbor at one point in the game, and just the pride in our area.
At the event, Onder was demonstrating 911 equipment for seniors and giving information about emergency information cards, a topic he said was especially important for seniors.
Well, especially for seniors, because unfortunately that winds up being the population that has more medical conditions and more medicines. And especially of bigger importance today is those that are on blood thinners in case they have a fall at home or something along those lines. That they know that, we're here, to take care of them, as well as we have the equipment and the knowledge to do so.
The event ran from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Laurel Mall. 2 brothers have been arrested in connection with a theft ring that saw items stolen from 8 counties, including Luzerne. Hyung Nam Lee and Chung Nam Lee were the leaders of a theft ring scheme that has been taking place for months, according to the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. The theft started in 2022 when investigators say the brothers and 4 other individuals would buy items from Home Depot and Lowe's. They would then put a higher-priced UPC code on the boxes and then return the items to stores, getting more money in exchange for the items due to the incorrect barcode. The district attorney's office has reported that the stores lost over $200,000. The 2 brothers are facing over 200 felony charges, and their bail has been set at $75,000. Coming up on WYLN News, the Lehigh and Lysan Fire Company is hosting a craft fair this weekend. Plus, automatic voter registration is coming to Pennsylvania. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow's gonna be cloudy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
When you need surgery, excellence and experience matter. So does staying close to home. At Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton, you get it all. As part of Lehigh Valley Health Network's Institute for Surgical Excellence, we have the most experienced surgeons and advanced technology, including robotic-assisted surgery. For you, this means getting back to normal life. Whether it's general or orthopedic surgery, you have a local surgery partner you can trust, a partner committed to excellence. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton, your health deserves a partner.
F&L Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier, for over 50 years providing quality products and service to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry top brand manufacturers and guarantee parts and service for your home or business. From new construction to replacement doors, inspections and service calls, F&L Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR, visit F&L Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township and Schuylkill Haven.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
High school football is back on WYLN TV 35. You can always count on WYLN for all the action, not just the highlights. This week, the Invaders of West Scranton travel to Harmon Stadium to take on the Hazleton area Cougars. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. with Marty Burns, Joe DeMelfi, and the WYLN sports crew. Over the air on 35.1 in Hazleton, 47.1 in Berwick or Bloomsburg, Service Electric Cable Channel 7 and 507, and online at WYLNTV.com.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The Lehigh and Lysan Fire Company is hosting a craft fair this Sunday, September 24th, and we talked to Fire Chief Tim Rossman about the event.
A bunch of different crafters and vendors setting up stands and displaying their wares, what they've made, what they're selling. We have, that I know of, there's people doing wood type items, there's jewelry, homemade, handmade jewelry, and a bunch of other things of that nature. So it should be a really good turnout.
Fire Chief Rossman also mentioned that it is not too late for vendors or crafters to sign up for the event.
We're still looking for vendors and crafters. You can certainly get in touch with us for that, and we can provide that information as well.
If you would like to learn more about the craft fair, you can call the Lehigh and Lasan Fire Company at 570-427-8561. The Shapiro administration announced on Tuesday that Pennsylvania will begin implementing automatic voter registration for eligible Commonwealth residents. In a press release, the administration announced that the verification process of DMV registration and voter registration will be combined. Under the new system, Pennsylvania residents will be automatically taken through the voter registration process upon obtaining a new or renewed driver license and ID card, unless they opt out of doing so. Proponents of the change say that automatic voter registration in other states has produced marked increases in voter turnout and increases access to the ballot box for eligible voters. The Wilkes-Barre chapter of Tire Square Club Incorporated will be holding a barbecue for autism fundraiser this weekend to benefit Supporting Autism and Families Everywhere, or SAFE. The fundraiser will be held from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, September 23rd and Sunday, September 24th at C&R Wilkes-Barre Boulevard and Hill Street in Wilkes-Barre. Participants will have the opportunity to enjoy a barbecue dinner or sandwich while supporting SAFE events, programs, and resources in the local area. Participants will also have the opportunity to meet with representatives from SAFE from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. The MPB Community Players will be presenting their production of the Broadway musical Tarzan this weekend in collaboration with the Hazleton Integration Project. The show is based on the Disney movie Tarzan and features many of the same songs by Phil Collins. The production will be presented at the Hazleton One Community Center on September 22nd and 23rd at 7 p.m. and on September 24th at 2 p.m. Seats can be reserved in advance by calling 570-401-6679, but tickets will also be available at the door. Coming up on Bloomsburg's News Choice, we recap Major League Baseball and more on Let's Talk Sports. Plus, our historian Chris Fulmer brings us part 2 of Plymouth on a Path Through History. So stay right here because we'll be right back on WYLN TV.
Contact Pete Kasalika for a home and auto quote today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
It's the 17th annual Pause for a Cause, Sunday, October 1st, at the Whitetail Preserve in Black Creek Township. Registration begins at 12:30. There's a pet costume contest, blessing for the animals, and then the Canine for a Cure walk and family fun walk at 1:30. Registration is just $15 per dog. Call Mary for more information at 570-401-3970. Pause for a Cause, benefits, safe, supporting autism and families everywhere. It all happens Sunday, October 1st. Come walk with your dog at the 17th annual Pause for a Cause. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Let's Talk Sports, where we'll recap some other happenings in this past week. I wish I would have talked about that thriller that was with Colorado State and Colorado this past weekend, with a 43-35 finish in overtime. This was heated with the two teams being chippy all week, and it all culminated with a late hit on receiver and cornerback Travis Hunter, ready to be taken to the hospital, and he will now miss the next 3 games for Colorado, according to head coach Deion Sanders, which is mighty unfortunate because those next 3 games include contests between Oregon and USC, which will obviously draw a ton of eyes, as if Colorado State and Colorado drew that many eyes by itself, which was crazy to look at. And Colorado managed to pick up the dub, but I could only imagine what these games will do in terms of viewership. I know Fox and all those big name crews are all going to be there because Colorado is the place in college football right now. So I didn't expect that one, and I don't think anyone did, but good on Colorado, but they are large underdogs this week against Oregon. So we'll see how it plays out. I think Oregon gets the win, but if Colorado pulls this one off, be prepared for the narratives that will be deserved, albeit a little crazy. And we have not talked about baseball in a while, so let us check in on the Phillies, where they are still in the lead for the wild card spot, but are not in contention for the division anymore, as the Braves have long wrapped that one up. They also just wrapped up a series with the Braves, and they took 2 of 3 from the best team in the National League, and probably baseball if I were to give my opinion. And it is more so how they did it yesterday, with the Braves coming back to tie the game in the bottom of the 8th, and the game was saved by Nick Castellanos in right field in the 9th, as he had the game-saving play with the catch and then throwing out the runner at home for the double play to end the 9th. Oh, did I also mention he hit 2 home runs in the contest? The Phillies will be starting up a series with the Mets tonight, so hopefully they can pick up some much-needed wins to increase their wild card lead. Elsewhere around the league, the American League West is just as close, if not closer, than when we left it last, with all 3 teams being separated by just a half game, which is some truly wild stuff, those 3 teams being the Mariners, Astros, and Rangers, and this will obviously go down to the wire. In the AL East, we have the Orioles and the Rays, with the 2 best records in the American League, racing towards the finish line, as neither of these teams want to host a wild card series, and I also think no one wants to play against them in a wild card series as well, because they'll get all 3 home games by a wide margin because they're just that far ahead of everyone else. And then in the American League Central, we have the Twins running away with it and will likely end up hosting one of the American League West teams. I'm not going to make a prediction which team it's going to be. Actually, I'll say the Rangers because they've been kind of sloppy as of late. But as for the National League, we already talked about the East, so we do not have to revisit that one. But the 2 other divisions have teams who look to be clear division winners. The Dodgers, of course, have already clinched to no one's surprise, as the Padres have underperformed, and that kind of feels a little generous there because their expectations after making the NLCS against the Phillies last year were very high. And the Diamondbacks have just straight collapsed. They're still on the edge of the playoffs, though. They're in the wild card. They're in the 2nd spot. But as we saw with their division lead, that could quickly be given up down the home stretch. As for the Central, the Brewers are the team to beat in the division, who are 8 games clear of the Cubs, and it is because of that pitching staff. As if the playoffs were to start today, the Brewers would have the least runs scored by a wide margin. But that does it for this edition of Let's Talk Sports. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
F&L Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier. For over 50 years providing quality products and service to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry top brand manufacturers and guarantee parts and service for your home or business. From new construction to replacement doors, inspections and service calls. F&L Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR. Visit F&L Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township and Schuylkill Haven.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns. For about 20 years, the North Branch Canal was the primary transportation system in Plymouth Township. But as was the case across the United States, railroads soon start overtaking canals. The first railroad to reach the area was the Lackawanna and Bloomsburg Railroad, which did so in 1857. It would be fully completed from Scranton to Northumberland in 1860, and would bring with it scores of immigrants from Ireland, Wales, Germany, and other nations to work in the coal mines. By 1870, almost 3/4 of the residents of the area were either foreign-born or children of foreigners. Because of the massive influx of residents, it was decided in 1866 to incorporate Plymouth into a borough from the surrounding Plymouth Township. Elections were held in May of that year to name the new town's first Burgess, with Elijah Wadhams ultimately winning the honor. Coal mining had by then become a major part of Plymouth's identity. Countless collieries operate throughout the borough, dragging black diamonds to the surface from deep underground. Among the more notable operations that took root in Plymouth in the 19th century were the Chauncey, Dodgson, Nottingham, Lance, and Washington collieries. And then there was the Avondale Colliery, which was built in 1867 along the Susquehanna. Its Steuben shaft, built directly underneath the colliery building, was considered state-of-the-art for the time, but had dangerous flaws in its design, notably that provided only one way in and out of the mine. On the morning of September 6, 1869, this would prove deadly when a furnace for one of the ventilation shafts ignited the mine's timbers. The flames rapidly spread up the shaft, eventually setting the whole colliery building ablaze, and thus trapping the entire day shift underground. A crowd of almost 10,000 people gathered to try and put out the flames, and once successful with this, built a derrick to send down rescue parties to the trapped miners, first successfully sending a dog down and up to confirm it would be safe for humans to go in. Rescue efforts, though, were delayed by obstructions in the mine and black damp in the air, and by the time the search parties reached the miners, it was too late. All of them had died. In the wake of the Avondale mine disaster, as it became known, legislation was passed in the State Assembly necessitating that there be at least 2 entrances and exits to every mine, and that all mines be properly mapped, and that they should be safely ventilated. Pennsylvania was the first state to enact such mine safety laws. The disaster was also a rallying point for union organization, spurring many miners to join the Workingmen's Benevolent Association, the first miners' union in the country. Labor upheaval would touch Plymouth hard in 1877 during the height of the Great Railroad Strike. Triggered by railroad workers in Martinsburg, West Virginia, who were upset that B&O management had cut their wages for the third time in a year as part of the lingering effects of the Panic of 1873. The unrest would spread all over the country, with Pittsburgh seeing particularly intense violence between management and labor. In Plymouth, workers of the Delaware and Hudson and Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western lines went on strike, at one point storming a D&H train as it entered the town. The local coal miners joined them in striking, prompting a worried Burgess Samuel French to wire the state for aid. He got it in the form of a 3,000-man militia led by former Plymouth teacher E.W. Matthews. Riding into town on a train with a large gun attached to the cowcatcher, the militia swept through Plymouth, arresting pretty much every man seen out of doors after dark. The troops remained in town for several weeks afterwards until peace had been restored. The Great Railroad Strike itself ended nationally after 45 days of unrest due to President Rutherford Hayes sending militias into cities to suppress the strikers. In the somewhat calmer years that followed, Plymouth residents began looking to build a high school for its youth. Central High School, the first of four in the community to bear that name, was built in 1884 by Samuel French's Plymouth Planing Mill Company. It would graduate its first class 2 years later. The building would be destroyed by a fire that broke out in February 1905. The second Central High would be built immediately, with construction overseen by Samuel French's son Harry. A grand parade was held the day the new school was completed. It would, though, serve as town high school for only 7 years before the third Central High School, built by Alfred Freeman, opened to students on September 1st, 1913, in a ceremony that also included a parade. The second Central High would be retooled as an elementary school. The fourth and final Central High School, constructed by Lewis Hancock, was dedicated on February 12, 1925. It was formally named the Davenport School in honor of prominent school board member Ward P. Davenport, who helped streamline and speed up construction. With its completion, the third Central High became a junior high and later an elementary school. The fourth Central High iteration would have the longest tenure as town high school, through 1966.
If you're just tuning in, here's a recap of our top stories. A Hazleton man has been arrested after police found over 100 packages of suspected cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana in his vehicle. According to police, Nelson Polanco had been previously suspected of illegal drug activity when officers coordinated a traffic stop on his vehicle. Police say Polanco provided false identification and openly admitted to being in possession of suspected marijuana, at which point he was placed under arrest. Upon obtaining a search warrant, police found that the vehicle contained 64 package baggies of suspected crack cocaine, 50 glassine packets of suspected fentanyl, and 14 resealable packages of suspected marijuana. Police also found over $4,000 in United States currency and 3 cell phones. Polanco has been charged with 3 felony counts of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, among other charges. Polanco has been transported to the Luzerne County Correctional Facility, unable to post his $200,000 bail. A woman from Shamokin is facing homicide charges after police say she shook her 6-month-old child, which caused the child's death. According to Shamokin police, officers responded to the Shamokin hospital after they were told the child of Crystal Semerad was airlifted to Geisinger Medical Center in Danville and was in critical condition. After issuing a search warrant on Semerad's residence, located on Race Street in Shamokin, officers found 6 people inside the home along with controlled substances and drug paraphernalia. Police spoke with a person inside the home who told them Semerad and the infant had been sleeping in his bed when he woke up to Semerad saying the baby was not breathing. According to the affidavit, Semerad did not call 911 and drove to the hospital. The hospital performed tests on the child, but there was no brain activity. It was later confirmed by further testing that it was shaken baby syndrome. Semerad has been charged with criminal homicide, endangering the welfare of children, and aggravated assault. She was taken to the Northumberland County Jail on $200,000 cash bail. And that does it for the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest news and updates on our YouTube, Facebook, or at our website at wylntv.com. Stay with us for a look at the weather.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.